mental illness that you've been suffering with?
Okay. My name is Courtney, but I go by Possum. And the mental illness that I suffer with are a few. I'm just going to say little bits of most of them. Mainly like OCD and BPD. The symptoms I experience tend to be quite intrusive thoughts based around like things and people and ideas. I get quite obsessive, like stuck on stuff which interferes in my everyday life and with my relationships with people. The lowest point for me was about just before COVID. Not because of COVID, just for some reason, I started to believe that I was dying from a heart attack. Like I thoroughly thought I was going to die. I threw away everything I owned, like literally everything. I had nothing. And I was just like in this pattern, like it didn't matter what anyone told me. I was like, no, I'm gonna die. Like I just believed it. I went around, like I couldn't talk to people anymore. I sort of went really internal. I didn't talk to any of my friends for like 6 months. I just sort of dropped off the planet and I didn't even know who I was anymore. And it's taken me a solid 1.5 years to like slowly come out of that. But, you know, I also manifested physical pain in my head. I couldn't drink because like it exasperated it and I couldn't do anything. Like I thought I had no thoughts. I would just sort of sit all day, like in this weird, like, I don't know, it was horrible, but got out of there eventually. But it was a very deep hole. I just struggled. I ended up like homeless and I just would walk around all day. Like I wouldn't talk to anyone. I was just in this complete detachment of my own reality. And then when I did try to get back in contact with people, I was so different that I'd almost lost the friendship. And so people have sort of had to choose to take that on or not. But, you know, people have stayed and it's been very good. I felt quite lonely, but in the same way, I literally believed that I was just going to drop dead at any minute. I was like checking my pulse every couple of minutes, like doing all these weird, crazy things, looking up your heart rate before you die. Like I was just so obsessed in my mind. I couldn't think about anything else. It was harder trying to reconnect with people, but at the time, back then, I think I did better being on my own.
What were your experiences seeking help?
Trying to get help is very hard. The public mental health system is complete shambles. And private health, no one has money for these days. I mean, I never will. I mean, you know, still trying with, you know, public doctors and that, but you're just a number. You're nothing else. That has to change. Like, I don't think that they value you. They just see you as like another person, another number, and they just sort of want to dull you down with drugs. So, I mean, and also they're the people you turn to when you don't know where to go. So it's hard to not trust them at times, which I've done. But I think therapy has been the best thing. Yeah. When I saw out a private psych, I got way more help than I'd had in years in the public mental health system and got like proper diagnoses, and they don't rush to put you on medication. You know, they talk about other things and other ways you can do it which really benefit you way more. But I also think it's been good to become knowledgeable on my own, because then you sort of fight the system and you actually get the help that you deserve. Friends, I mean, the ones who like choose to stay with you, they're always the best people. I mean, they become your family and your support and everything. And I think I'm very lucky to have good people. I am, who are always there. And you know, you just have to learn sort of how much is okay for them to take on, which is hard, because when you're that low, you're just looking for anyone to help. But they've always been like the most encouraging for me, and I hold that so dearly. My advice for anyone going through a hard time is that it is a long road, but one that's definitely worth it, the struggle. And I also think that we come out better, you know, we're more, it's good to learn about yourself, that's what life is. So like when you're just on that journey of helping yourself. Oh yeah, a poem.
Oh yes, this is exciting.
Yeah,
Yes,
okay. Being able to speak the shit that like you feel that also no one else can like say for themselves is really good. Like I think it's really helpful. But I wrote this poem after a fight with a friend, and it's not about them. It's more me and how I felt. So okay, it's a little bit long, but we'll get there. You're an intolerable mess, an untouchable human, emotionally unavailable, physically unfavourable. You do the unthinkable and find it justifiable. Everything you touch becomes flammable. It's remarkable how invaluable your existence is. Maybe you should confide. I'm shaking. I'm fine, I'm just shaking. Maybe you should confide in injectables and go out with a bang. Wouldn't that be impeccable, following in your father's footsteps? How honourable. Your puzzle is unsolvable, unshakable, degradable. You're just sliding past as tolerable. You miserable piece of scum. Your heart, whatever is left, isn't repairable. You're unlovable. Your values and core beliefs are arguable. You are uncontrollable, irreconcilable, undecipherable. Your behaviour is not reprogrammable. The future is unforeseeable, uninhabitable. You are too unpredictable. You treat people like disposables, just like you treat yourself. I know that what you went through is inexplainable. You've been uncomfortable for so long. You wish you were reprogrammable and functional, and the pain inside is inconceivable. But with every day you grow more knowledgeable, and one day you'll feel comfortable, and all of the trauma will be escapable. Right now it's unavoidable, and that's going to have to be tolerable. It's all accomplishable, the flames are extinguishable, and your soul is reclaimable.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is beautiful. Wow, it shakes me.
I know, I'm still shaking.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah, it's a lot, but I mean, it's what people need to hear to make a difference, I think.